It's amazing how afraid we are nowadays from viruses, bacteria, etc. Uh, we are not afraid of going to the gym. I mean, we recognize exercising is good for you and it's healthy for you. But how does exercise benefit you? Well, it puts stress on your muscles, puts stress on your ligaments, your tendons, and as a response to that stress, then you get stronger, you get healthier. And it's the same thing with your immune system. It actually needs stress. It needs viruses. It needs bacteria. It needs parasites. It needs these things in order to be able to get stronger. So when we're exposed to something like we are right now, when we're dealing with this pandemic, we actually need exposure. And how is that supposed to be done? Well, I actually spoke to an epidemiologist this weekend. He's been epidemiologist for 35 years, Rockefeller Institute. So he knows what he's talking about. And he's saying the worst thing that you can do is to quarantine, because that will take things much longer to reach herd immunity. The best thing to do is to make sure that children still go to school. Children have a strong immune system, so they are supposed to pass this virus around and then take it to their parents, so we can all develop antibodies. Our immune system can get stronger and know how to figure it out. And like I said in a prior video, our immune system is extremely intelligent. It can process data like no other computer that we have, better than any quantum computer that we have out there. It is amazing what it can do and how it can process information to trigger response. So having exposure allows us then to process that information, and you want that exposure to be with people that have stronger immune system. And children, evolutionary, or God created, I should say, they have a stronger immune system. And it is prudent to have then the immunocompromised and the elderly, to have them probably away then from the family for 30 days. But that at that time, then that virus been passed around, herd immunity have started to develop, antibodies have started to be created, and then when they are then exposed to their children or their grandchildren, they then are exposed to inactive virus, and they can then start to develop their own immune system as well. So it's the same like with elderly. One of the worst things that can happen is that they break their hip. A lot of times when they do that, it doesn't take that long for them to actually get very sick and frequently actually die. It's a very traumatic aspect if they break their hip or break something that immobilizes them. And so does that mean that we should protect them from not walking, never moving? Well, that is the worst thing that you can do, because then you don't stimulate the muscles, you don't stimulate the bones. So you need that extra little stress. So the key is actually then to support your immune system. Don't be afraid of bugs. They exist everywhere. In fact, our mitochondria, that our cells produce energy and that we really, really need, it is a bacteria. It is a bacteria that we get infected by. So these pathogens, they actually help us to adjust and adapt to our current environment. So they're not all that bad. But what is bad is to try to live a sterile life away from everything, which means that your immune system never develops, it doesn't have any challenges, and it never gets strong. So with that, it is important though to keep your health and also to always support it nutritionally. And that's the beauty of all the different things we do at the Karlfeldt Center, other naturopathic doctors, holistic doctors, herbalists, is that we want to make sure that your body is healthy. So now is more the time than ever to take the steps that you need to stay strong, stay healthy. We're dealing with an exposure. Just make sure that you're ready to deal with it. Give us a call. We do phone consultations. Telemedicine is fantastic. I don't know how many patients that are doing so well through what we're dealing with right now. Just because they're taking care of themselves. They're taking the supplements, they're eating right food, they go outside, enjoy sunshine, breathe air, and they stay away from mass media. That is, if you're going to do one thing to boost your immune system, turn off your television, or turn off, don't look at, every possible case of somebody dying. If we did that with the people everyone that got a heart attack, and we had a countdown of that every time, we would all freak out. So don't do that. Don't be afraid.